Hello, we're going to do an oil change on an '07 Mustang GT. We're going to get started. First thing you're going to want to do, open up the hood. Come over to the left side, you're going to see the oil cap here. It says 5W20. Now, I'm going to use synthetic oil, so it's a 5W20 synthetic. We're going to use about 6 quarts. I actually got the mobile one, 5 quarts, and I purchased an additional 6 quart. We'll put that on later. First thing you do is take the cap off to loosen some of the pressure when we're emptying out the oil from the bottom. And then, the car's jacked up already. And now we go into the car. Next thing you're going to want to do is locate the drain bolt, drain the center of the car, about 3 feet in. You see the pan here and the bolt. It's a 16mm bolt, and just loosen that bolt slowly. At the very end, use your hand to loosen it so that you can catch the bolt, or use one of these drain pans that have a like a filter net to catch the bolt for you. And alright, I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I've drained from the drain plug on the bottom, and now what I usually do is I add a little bit of old synthetic oil through here and have it drain through the actual plug, which is still open, so I can see.
You see some pouring out through there?
You pour some in here so that it drains through, just to get some any extra residue that may be down there. Next thing you want to do is locate the oil filter that is right in the center of the car, a little to the left. See, the oil pan's right there. Still leaking a little bit from the excess that I put in there. And then you find the oil filter itself. And I did the oil change on this car last time, so it's gonna be hand tight. If one of those, if you take it to Goodyear, Firestone, any of those places, and they tighten it, they usually tighten it a little too much. And then when you want to do it yourself, you can't because it's too tight. You're gonna have to get one of those wrenches, the oil filter wrenches, to get that out. But mine is pretty hand tight, so what I do is I set up the oil pan down here and I just twist it out. As you can see, it's turning slowly. You're gonna get oil because there's oil in here, so you're gonna get oil everywhere, but that's fine. Make sure the oil pan's under there. Let it drain out a little bit. It shouldn't be too much. And then completely take off the filter. It's all wet now with the oil, but drain it all out. Now make sure that that rubber ring is still there and not on the car itself. So when you put the new oil filter and that ring is there, it would get in the way. Alright, so let me get the other filter. Alright, now the filter that I used, or that I bought, is the Ford Motorcraft filter. Part number down here. And I actually got this one online on AmericanMuscle.com. Pretty good one. Has that ring on it. So what I do is you get a little bit of oil and you rub it here all around the ring. You could put a little oil in there if you want, not too much, and then put it right back on. Okay. Okay. I put oil on the filter itself, and then you put it right back in here. You just twist it on. And you get it, once you get to a spot where you can't tighten anymore, I'm gonna do it hand tight, should be fine. Should be good right there. Alright, what I'm basically doing now is wiping down all the areas that under the car that may have gotten some oil on them, just to be safe, just so it's not smoking on me later. And then I come back here to the actual pan and I wipe down where the bolt goes in, and I reapply the bolt. I put the bolt back in there with the 16mm wrench. Okay, so once that finishes dripping, I'm gonna put the bolt back on, and then to fill up the oil. Alright, this is the Mobil 1 high mileage 5W20 that I have for the full synthetic oil for the car. I have about 100,000 miles on this car, so that's why I'm using the high mileage, but if you have over 75, it's good to use. If not, you can use the regular Mobil 1. After filling, make sure to put the oil cap back on, hand tight, and then you would check the dipstick to make sure that the oil level's right. Turn the car on and make sure the pressure gauge in the car, which the Mustangs do have that pressure gauge, make sure it's centered. If for any reason it's off center, the pressure in the pan might be off, the bolt might not be on there correctly, all the way tight, something's going on. So make sure the pressure gauge is in the middle. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this helped. I know I watch most of my YouTube, I find out how to do most of the stuff on this car through YouTube, so hopefully this helps.